looky here. It's the Pat and JT podcast.
Pat and JT podcast.
I think this is the closest to 9:15 we've gotten
for a long time.
Yeah.
I have an adolescent kitten who will not leave me alone. Of my teenager. He's probably like 12, actually. He's probably like that age.
It's like the kid that as soon as his mom or dad gets on a Zoom for work, they're instantly needing something. Every other time, they're good. They don't need anything. As soon as Zoom happens.
Playing with the dogs. Everything's been fine. But yeah, I sat down and he comes over and then he's behind the monitor, looking over the top of the monitor, looking over like, get off the monitor. And then he just stepped in something because the TV just came on. I don't even know where the remote is. Oh, who knows? But anyway, we're on time today. That's
well,
cool.
I mean, on time-ish. I mean, it's better. Hey, whatever.
It's kind of like, oh God, now I can't remember. There's a commercial that, now I can't say her name. Oh my God. See, here I am now. I'm skipping out because I didn't.
This sounds like a fantastic story,
This
though.
sounds fantastic, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Never mind.
There's this thing, I don't remember what, with this lady. I don't remember her name.
It's not easy. It's easier. What's her name?
Easy.
She has a commercial right now for getting older isn't easy, but I can make it easier.
Oh,
why can't I see her name?
I don't know. I don't recall seeing that.
Kelly and what's the talk show? Not Kelly and what's his Becca, but originally she was on with who?
Seacrest.
Before that,
Regis
and before Kelly. I'm playing.
Oh my gosh, Regis and Kathy.
Kathy Lee.
Oh my gosh. Sounds like, oh God, that was rough.
Yes. I'm good at charades, not.
Yeah.
So Kathy Lee is doing commercials for some supplement. I don't know. And anyway, so instead of getting older is not easy, but I can make it easier. And I'm like, oh my God, surely we could have found a better copywriter. We could have found a better copywriter. I know we could have. That sounds so dumb, but just made me think of it. And I don't know why. And we're totally off track because I have everything all lined up for today. We have basically a Kansas City sandwich.
Okay.
Is what we've got today for some things to talk about. And who knows where we're going to end up because I did not have Kathy Lee on my bingo card today. But a little follow-up on the Taylor Swift story. Well, it's actually a Travis Kelce story, I guess, about him throwing up the heart. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And somebody had said, oh no, he's throwing it at his brother. And we were like, yeah, that didn't happen. But it turns out he now is saying it was not for his sweetheart either. He says that he actually threw the heart up for the other team and their fans.
Oh.
I
could see that. A little trash talking to the crowd, I suppose, in hand emoji form.
Yeah, he was on with him and his brother have a podcast, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
That's where they were talking about it, and apparently the story got back that it was sent up to his brother. So he didn't get the story that he did that for his girlfriend.
He probably got so much grief in the locker room. He's like, I got to come up with another story because no matter what I say, it's going to look bad for me.
It's got to be something better. So it's got to be the other team and their fans. So that's what the heart was for. Okay.
I still don't buy it.
I don't either.
No.
A little royal news for you. We can do that.
Hey, I'll take it.
The Royals. Okay, this is a weird story. It started a few days ago. We kind of just like slid over it because it's really not a thing. But then some pictures started popping up, and the Royals went to go see the Bob Marley movie premiere, and so they're on an island doing this. They showed up, they weren't invited. That's the weird part. That's what's come out the last couple of days. A family, there's one family, they said, oh no, that we have a personal relationship with this family that was involved in all this in Kingston. And they invited us. And apparently, okay, fine. Then there was pictures on the red carpet, but the body language is basically, okay, the wife of the couple that they're standing next to. So it's the man that's doing everything. And then his wife, and then you've got Megan, and then you've got Harry, right?
Mhm.
And she's got her shoulder kind of like she's doing like Megan's to her left, and she's kind of turned away from her just a little bit, and then she's got her arm draped across the front of her, like, don't grab my hand. Is kind of like, and Megan's right up behind her, like trying to hold her elbow. And
That's super awkward.
like trying to act like they're really close. And she's like, but her hand is all crooked because she's trying to get it away from her. And like, don't grab my hand.
Like you're on a really a bad date and you don't want the dude to touch your hand. So you like awkwardly put it on the other side of the popcorn.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. That's exactly what it looked like. So the pictures are kind of funny. And then another thing that happened too is that when they went in to go watch the premiere, you think, okay, well, they're in the theater. They're probably in some kind of theater that has like balcony seating. So you can put VIPs over here and you can have this and you can have that. No, they were in the fourth row in the middle.
Oh.
Ball gown.
Like with the commoners?
And some are like, well, you can't say they didn't get the best seat. Like they shouldn't be in the front row because those are sucky seats.
Yeah.
If you're going to a movie. So the front row doesn't make sense, but you don't see the other VIPs sitting around them. And so then when people are getting up, she's like, standing up and the seat sits up, because it's one of those folding seats that sits up after you
Her
sit.
feet all stuck to the ground from all the Skittles and stuff.
And she's in this long dress.
Were other people
Yes.
dressed up like that too? Or was she not necessarily in that row? She was the only one with the puffy dress in the row? Looked like?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Everybody else was dressed up, but like us dressed up, not like in a gown.
Mhm.
Like she was dressed up to be a VIP. And she stands up, and then the Prince of England stands up next to her, and they're trying to exit their row in an orderly fashion with all the other commoners after the movie was done to go to the.
Well, maybe that's what they want. I mean, they wanted to leave the royal behind, so maybe that's what they wanted they're commoners now. So maybe that's what they wanted.
I don't think so. I think they want to be recognized but not obligated.
They wanted to be friends with benefits with the title. They wanted to be friends but be able to use the title when they want, but not be dating.
Right?
The title.
No
Yeah.
obligation, no strings, but I want all the good stuff that comes with it.
Yeah. Right.
So I just had to, because when I saw the video of them standing up in the theater, somebody shot, because somebody else sitting in the row obviously turned their camera sideways, and they shot him standing up and kind of straightening her dress and moving around. And you see the seat go boink, and
Harry, I have to go potty. Can you stand up? Everybody stands up. Like,
excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me.
puts her dress up, knocking over popcorn. Oh gosh, getting the slushy straw stuck to the bottom of her dress.
Yes, do you have any more milk duds?
Hey,
I want to.
being a commoner is rough, Meg.
is,
It's
man.
rough.
She must have forgot.
Mm-hmm.
She must have forgot. So
Totally forgot.
that's funny. Anyway, Sarah just popped in. Hello. She says, my winter bird, the other day when I played the recording of the bird that was singing
Mm-hmm.
after the melt,
Yeah.
sounded like a cardinal. Maybe flew into a window too many times and is a little confused.
Maybe.
Aw.
Poor guy.
It could be. It could be. All right. So we got that one out of the way. Did you have anything you wanted to talk about, by the way? I'm just blowing through stuff here.
No, this is all. I mean, I really had nothing. I didn't have much of anything except yesterday Beth on the Ring camera in our backyard caught.
Yeah.
So since it's been chilly, when it was super cold, we didn't go out to actually our little squirrel table and screw the ear of corn down on this thing. We just would pitch them out.
Throw it at him?
Yeah, well, we would, which is hilarious. I've got to edit this video together because there was 5. Beth was working at home one day, and there were 5 attempts from her because the snow. We hadn't scooped the snow off of the deck yet as of like middle of last week, so you couldn't really get the back door open very far, only by about 6 inches, enough for her to get her arm out, and you can see it's right in front of the Ring camera, and she tries to pitch the first ear of corn, hits the table, then she goes back in, gets another one. Second one goes straight up, hits the ceiling, and lands straight down. There's like 5 of them, and none of them hit the ground. They all landed on the deck. It's hilarious.
Just a tease.
Yeah.
Total tease.
But then yesterday or the day before, she saw on the Ring camera that there was some activity, and she saw one of the squirrels had picked up the ear of corn and was running along the top of the fence and took it and jumped into his tree. So took it back home. It was hilarious. I got to get that video too. But her throwing the corn, it's like I left because you can hear the frustration in her. And when she shuts the door and gets another one, it's funny.
It's almost an abusive relationship for those poor squirrels.
Yeah.
It's
They're
like, yeah, I'll give it to you, but you're gonna have to crawl on glass across on your knees over there across the highway and not get hit and blah blah blah. But yeah, you can have all the food you
but
want.
it's free.
Yeah.
If you can make it, if you survive, it's 100% free.
100% free otherwise.
Yep.
Awesome. I got a Costco story for you.
Love that.
You'll and a lot of us will relate to this. This is hilarious because there was a Costco shopper that went on social media talking about something that happened recently, and it also went on Reddit to talk about it. Apparently, it was all about how she felt about a receipt check as she left the store. You know, the receipt checks that they do as you're leaving the store, either getting in the line. That's another thing that drives me crazy too, because they've got usually 2 people that are checking out. And typically it's one long line and people just kind of zipper their way through whichever one's open next, and you just go back and forth. And then all of a sudden you get a bunch of people that decide they all want to get in line behind one. And so now you have 2 lines, and one line's moving, the other line's not. But those people,
Right. It's like rookies. Come on.
My
Keep
God.
it moving. Keep it moving.
Yes. So anyway, what happened was she did a controversial self-checkout and had about like 70 items. And so when she goes to the door, of course, the checker has to check all the items because she went through self-check. Because, when you go through self-check, they literally count your items and they make sure everything's on this receipt is in your bag. If you go through the other, and it's a different color receipt. And if you go through the regular where they check you out themselves, then they usually don't spend as much time. They just look at it, mark it off, and send you on your way because they assume everything was taken care of back with the
that you're not in cahoots with the person that checked you out.
Exactly.
Right.
So she said she basically offered to, not in so many words, but she started counting the numbers and just kind of like in an attempt to help the staff member. And she was like, okay, here, I have 10 of these and there's 5 of these and there's 3 of those, and just kind of helping her kind of move things along a little bit quicker instead of having to count to 70 plus.
Which is a nice thing to do. We'll do that too. If we have there's 10 Mambas, there's 5 bags of chocolate, whatever. Like, it's nice. That's a nice thing to do. Yes.
And she says, quote, not even a couple seconds into me counting out loud, she snaps in a condescending voice, I know how to count. I want to know how many of these there are, while pointing at the cartons of half and half. And she's like, I'm just trying to help you so I can get out of the way. I'm just trying to help you. So apparently that person was having a bad day, but it got a ton of attention on Reddit. A lot of people understanding and going through the same thing, but she ended up, the checker ended up doing all the checking one by one by themselves, all 70 plus items.
Just to be a dandy. Probably, I'm sure she's pissed off. Yeah. And I don't understand, like at Sam's Club, when they do their little check thingy and they just take the wand and say you get 10 things, they just beep, beep, like 2 or 3 of them. Like, okay, you're good. Like, well, I mean, that's why it's almost like roulette, like you could try to steal something.
I didn't even know about that. I haven't been to Sam's for a while.
Yeah. Like if we do, because we always do the whatever scan and go on our app.
Yeah.
So then, and even if you check out normally, they'll still just spot check and scan a couple items to see if you're good.
Yeah. If you aren't tossing things in with.
Yeah.
Have you ever used it at Hy-Vee on your phone, the app?
You can do that at Hy-Vee?
Yeah, there's an app for that.
I didn't know that.
Outside on the, those little stanchions that are outside the doors, so people drive into them. There's usually wraps on them, and there's like a QR code. So download the app so you can get in, get out, or something like that. I can't remember what it said. I know I downloaded it. Let me double check here. I can't remember what it's called.
Well, I always thought that was just the app I already have.
It's a different app. I think it's called.
Have you noticed the self checks at Hy-Vee don't yell at you anymore? Like the volumes are automatically lower. You don't have to set it for your thing.
I used to literally, when people would check out, I'd be like, do you want to know how to make that quieter?
Right.
So it's called, I don't know if you can see this, probably not, but it's called Hy-Vee Scan and Go.
Oh,
I don't know if you can, right?
There's an app for Hy-Vee where you can scan and then go. I can't figure out what it's
literally
called.
And it's not the same app. So there's the Hy-Vee app. You can't see it.
Yeah.
There's the Hy-Vee app and there's the Hy-Vee Scan and Go.
They need to be more clear with their post boards, whatever they are, because I thought it was the same app I already have. They need to say, idiot, this is not the same app you already have. New app.
And you need to open it when you're in the store. So you join the store Wi-Fi.
Okay.
and then you're good to
Giddy
go.
up.
It tells you that.
I'm all about that.
So it's there. So
Okay.
I've never tried it. I downloaded it and then I keep forgetting about it. So
Yeah, because you don't ever leave your house. You have your stuff delivered to you.
So I was just this morning had that conversation with Teddy because he was out of food. He says, "You could have called it in yesterday. I'd been here this morning." Just saying.
Just saying.
Could have done it. So what else do we have going on? Oh, Sarah. Okay, Pat. Have you seen Mark Rober's Squirrel Olympics videos
I think so.
on YouTube?
I think so. Yeah. I don't know the name of the thing, but I have seen something that would.
Squirrel Olympics.
Yeah.
Very good.
They're awesome.
Allie says Costco is a cult.
Yes,
I can
it
get
is.
behind. Call it a cult. I can get behind.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another squirrel thing. There is a squirrel that's named Fat Gus that used to be FAT Gus, and then he changed it to PHATY, Fatty Gus, because he found it was a girl.
Oh, okay.
It's gendered. Damn it. Damn it.
Damn it.
Oh, it says they got rid of the scan. Scan and go. Sherry says the scan and go is not there anymore at Hy-Vee. Damn it.
Oh, you missed your opportunity.
Missed my window. Okay, fine. All right. Anyway,
I prefer Aldi anyway, to be honest with you, just because number one, it's cheaper, but number two, it's so impressive how fast those people can check you out.
Yeah.
I know they I don't know if they get bonus for being faster, but I know that if they're too slow, they get in trouble. So they're like zip, 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 zip out. Like there was last time we went, I was still paying. Like I had just getting ready to pull my card out, and the other person was behind me, and they were, as soon as I pulled my car out, zip, zip for the next. We didn't even have the cart moved with our stuff and another cart put in there.
Get out of the way, dude.
This lady was on fire.
Get out of the way. She would being at Costco would drive her crazy.
Mm-hmm.
With the line standing, line like 30 feet long.
Yeah.
All right. So the only other story that I have this morning is a follow-up on the Kansas City story.
I'm excited for this.
I know. I think it was Valeska, I believe, who it was that sent us the TikTok. Did you happen to see that?
I did not.
Let me double check her real quick. So I want to give credit where credit is due, because I think she followed up too. She had hold on. Let me open this up real quick. Somebody, I'm going to go with that right now. Wait, let me see if I can find it. This is fun, isn't it? Stick with me, folks. Hold on.
I would switch, but it'll screw up our
Valeska
live stream. Okay, you got it right.
That's right. So she sent us a TikTok, and I was like, "Oh man, this is a great find!" And it's just a crazy story, and it's somebody who's going over some of the details, and we're gonna go ahead and drop this in here.
Have you watched this video yet?
I have one time.
Is there like enough context in it to, if people don't know what we're talking about? Like I had no clue about it earlier in the week.
Good idea. Let's just go ahead, just in case, because there were 3 Kansas City Chiefs fans. See, this is the other piece of bread in the Chiefs sandwich that we have going on here. So that froze to death after watching the last regular season game, January 7th. They were at a friend's house watching the game. And then sometime after midnight, there were 5 guys there to begin with. The owner of the house, actually the renter of the house, and 4 of his friends. Guy number 5, who I don't know who that is yet, he said he left around midnight and everybody was still up and watching Jeopardy at midnight.
Boy, there's some partiers. So when you first told me the story, I hadn't seen a video on them. I hadn't looked online, so I didn't know what these guys looked like. And I still haven't watched this video that you sent, but the opening screen shows all 3 of them. I thought they were going to look like squirrel baits. They look like normal dudes, not like crazy dudes, like normal guys.
35, 36, 37 years old.
Yeah.
I think was the 3
guys
the
ages.
Be
freezing to death.
Shouldn't be freezing to death, right? Exactly. Mm-hmm. They apparently sometime during after midnight ended up outside. The renter of the house said he had already gone to bed. He didn't know. And there's more to that story coming up. But then they apparently got locked outside, and 2 days later are discovered frozen to death in his backyard. Their cars are still out front. One of the fiancés came and broke into the house. He claims he didn't even know she was there, even though she broke into the house and was yelling out his name. And then she called the police, and they came, and then he showed up. When the police showed up, he came downstairs in his underpants and an empty wine glass.
Well, didn't he say he had his headphones on for 2 days?
Yeah, he said he slept really hard. He sleeps in headphones and the fan, really loud fan. and he couldn't hear any of that.
Yeah.
So he had no idea that people were trying to reach him on social media, texting. Just had no idea.
No clue. I mean,
And
who
the
doesn't wear
weird part-
headphones for 48 hours?
Exactly. And the weird part is this story started. This was January 7th. We just found it earlier this week. It was there was like one or two stories. Now it's starting to show up. CNN dropped a story this morning. People dropped a story last night. So all the other news outlets are starting to drop this story. But this TikTok was out, and she grabbed it, and it added some more information to what we knew at the time.
Okay, you ready?
Mhm.
All right, here we go. Let's let me push play here.
It's been 2 weeks since these three men were found in the backyard of their friend's house after watching a Chiefs game. Here are the latest updates. This is Jordan Willis. He was the one renting the house at the time. He has since moved out of the house and gotten an attorney. This is Jordan's attorney, John Paserno, and he said in a statement on Saturday that the last time Jordan saw the three men was when they left his house and Jordan went to bed. Then on Monday, John Paserno came out saying that there was actually a fifth person at Jordan's house that night. He said at some point, Jordan got tired and went to bed, leaving the four men in his house. Then a day later, he came out with a new statement saying that he actually misspoke and that Jordan walked the men to the door, said their goodbyes, they left, and Jordan went to sleep on the couch. Now, as you can imagine, the families of the three victims are very frustrated at the inconsistencies in Jordan's stories. This fifth person, who has come out but has not been publicly named, said that when he left the house, Jordan and the three others were still awake and they were watching Jeopardy on TV. That fifth person left the house around midnight. Now, it was previously reported that the last person to leave left around 11 p.m., but this person is saying, no, I left around midnight and they were all absolutely still awake. John Paserno is also claiming that Jordan did not receive any messages or phone calls or texts from the people who were looking for the three men. He's also claiming that he never heard anyone come into his house that day, despite Clayton's fiance saying that when she got into the house, she was yelling for Jordan, announcing that she was there. But he claims he didn't know anyone was there until police got there and announced their presence. However, the fifth guy that was there that left around midnight said that he was receiving phone calls and messages from the friends and family of the three men on Tuesday. So you're telling me that everyone is asking this fifth guy where their friends and their loved ones are, but no one's talking to Jordan? I am not buying it. When a local news station, Fox 4 KC, reached out to John Paserno about these discrepancies, he declined to comment. Jordan's attorney also did an interview with News Nation where he said that Jordan did leave the house sporadically on Monday and Tuesday that week. Then he backtracked again, saying that what I meant to say on News Nation is that he left. He was sleeping and he left his bedroom sporadically.
What?
The autopsy and toxicology reports on the three victims are still pending. And when asked if he believed that drugs had any part in this, he declined to comment on that either. As of right now, no charges have been pressed against Jordan, but as this story continues to evolve, I think people are getting more and more confused because of all the inconsistencies from this guy right here.
I mean, yeah. What?
Isn't that just nuts?
I'm sure they were methed out of their mind or something. That would be the only, because it reminds me of that story, the couple that got lost here and died, and it was on Dateline, and they were out in the middle of nowhere and they got lost. So that's what they were whacked on something.
So some of the speculation right now is because the guy who rented the house, which isn't it weird that he has unrented or moved out, at least, who knows if he's still paying it, but he's moved out and he's still not under arrest, and they aren't looking at this as a homicide at this point. Nobody's been arrested. But the weird part is that he had been identified as a scientist, researcher, early on. So the speculations are crazy when you get into the comments. But there's such good little sleuths that are in there that picked up on things. They're like, oh my God, that's right, he did say that. But some people are wondering if there wasn't, like you said, drugs involved in some way or some fashion, and his intention was by letting them be outside. And being outside doesn't really make sense, because typically, you watch your basic crime story, they want them in a cold room. Right. If they're in a really cold room, they don't decompose. So you can't tell when they died.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But if they're in a warm room, they decompose. And so then it increases or it hastens the process, and some of the stuff that's in their system might be gone. So they're wondering if there wasn't something that was involved, and he doesn't want to be tied to some kind of a drug that he participated in or shared with them, and that it had adverse effects.
That's probably that probably is what it was, and mixed with drinking, and
Yeah.
that's probably it.
So where's this fifth guy? And is he like counting his like blessings right now that he was able to walk out of there at that
Yeah.
time? But isn't it weird? It's like he said he left at midnight. The other guy says he went to bed at 11. He walked him to the door. No, he went to bed. He didn't know they left. Another
Yeah.
story was that he didn't know if they went out the front or the back.
And your turn usually when whether we've said this before too. Like if anything would ever happen, 100% innocent. First thing I would do would be get an attorney, because you don't want to say things you're not supposed to say. And then your attorney comes out and says things and then walks them back. Like, oh no. What I meant is he left his room, not his house. Okay,
That's bad. His attorney is bad. His attorney's doing
looks like a squirrel bait.
Yes, he is doing him no favors. So, yeah, so there it is. And so finally, the rest of the country has picked up on this story that for whatever reason, nobody was following for 2 weeks. Practically. Yeah. Well, almost 3. It's been almost 3 weeks ago this weekend, actually, that it happened.
Mhm.
So it's just earlier this week that it floated out. And the first time I thought I saw it, I was like, okay, is this some satire site? Because, Kansas City Chiefs and the Taylor Swift and the, playoffs, and somebody's trying to, they're trying to hoax the fans, or, you know what I mean? Kansas City Chiefs fans die because Taylor didn't wave at him, or, just something stupid.
Yeah.
And then when you read the story, it is so preposterous. The story is so crazy. And how on earth that happened. I can't wait to find out.
If we ever find out, I want to find out. We need to find out.
I know. So I'm now following that person on TikTok.
I was just going to say, I'm going to start following that person on TikTok.
Yeah. Because
Our
apparently,
newsleader.
right.
Mhm.
First and honest with the news. Get it to us. I don't care if it's
TikTok is usually, here. Oh, I actually have, I know I've mentioned this before. Where are they? My $5 AirPod thingies that I got on TikTok.
Yeah.
I got them. A $5 holler. They're like, they have cool, fun light on the front. You
You're
can't
supposed to put your hand behind it when you show it to. That's how the professional influencers do it.
Oh, sorry.
Or something. I don't know. It's your
There
lights.
you go. Use promo code PAT for $5 off. They're awesome. They work fantastic. Love them. So TikTok, home run for that. But another TikTok dry hump earlier in the week was I found a recipe for Beth loves cookie dough. Who doesn't love cookie dough?
Yeah.
And found a healthy cookie dough, chocolate cookie dough that you put in your fridge, made with cottage cheese. I don't remember what, an almond flour or whatever. And it looks fantastic. Like the guy, he held his hand behind the thing.
Yeah.
And it looks so good. It was awful. Just saying.
It's kind of like the Pinterest fail. This is next level. It's a TikTok, right? The TikTok fails.
Recipe fail. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. So anywho, that's kind of what I got. Kind of clean things up for the week. So
Yeah.
$5 holler. Sounds like a cheap bedroom service, Allie says.
It is. Well, hey, whatever.
With his own case.
$5 holler is super cheap.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for watching, listening, rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast. We're live every Friday on everywhere. So
We got
thanks
back
for
on the
listening.
USA charts, by the way.
You got what?
We got back on the USA charts
Oh,
for
sweet.
entertainment podcasts. We were only in Hong Kong for a while.
Killer. We're circling the globe now. We're getting around.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend. And we'll be back on Monday. See ya.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Huda Media Production.